hits. It looks like they're going 4 wide, or 5 wide, but they're side by side. Connor is sideways, absolutely sideways at the last few corners. Oh, but he's up in the gravel, and he spins. Rob has made a bit of a dive. It actually hits teammate Craig, and so they've all got stuck in the gravel. And Joe gets the switch back. That's fantastic racing. Look at that. Contact, but it's Robbins racing. Joe McCall takes his first ever win just ahead of Connor. A fantastic race. He's going to take 6th, or is it? Oh, he just gets him. And is Darren going to take it? No, he doesn't. Mark Nichol takes the race. Josh is the Independence champion for season 3. Craig Kellett is your season 3 winner and champion. Race 3 continues with the reverse grid draw. The numbers 6 to 16 are randomly drawn from finishing positions in race 2, and the number 6 was drawn, which promoted Tom Foster in the Renault Megane onto pole position. This also meant a front row lockout for KTTC, as Kieran Thomas, also in his Renault Megane, was in 2nd position. Harry Cook is on row 2 for Team Redeem Motorsports Mazda Atenza, next to the MCR Storm VW Scirocco of Mike Comer. Row 3 is Mike Kuipers in his K&N Fox Racing VW Scirocco, next to Gary Black in the MCR Storm VW Scirocco. Row 4 is Darren Parker in the Team Redeem Motorsports Mazda Atenza, next to Alex McCready in the Lexus RCF for Speedy Motorsports. Row 5 are the 2 HB Motorsports Hyundai Genesis of Stephen Heath and Joe Burrows. Row 6 is Mark Nichol in the K&N Fox Racing VW Scirocco, next to Craig Kellett in the Ford Mustang for Elliott Racing. Row 7 is Luke Knox in the Team Snap-on Nissan GTR, next to Daniel Stewart in the Lexus RCF for Speedy Motorsports. And at the back row of the grid we've got Rob Pellet in the Ford Mustang for Elliott Racing, and Joe McCall in the Nissan GTR for Team Snap-on, as he retired in race 2. The last race of the day then for the touring cars at Suzuka. We've got Tom on the front row and Kieran in KTTC Racing, so it's a front row lockout. We've got Harry behind them with Mike Comer, so it'll be interesting to see how KTTC do from here. If they can get the 1-2, that'll be good for the teams, but obviously they've got 9 laps ahead of them, and away they go. Look at the wheel spin from Tom, and look who's there.
An even better start from Harry.
Yeah. So Harry's up in between the 2 KTTCs and sits behind and is on the inside of Tom now. Kieran's leading then, and look at that, that's Stephen Heath. What a good start he's got. So he's up to the podium position with Mike Comer close behind there then. So contact, nice bit of robust racing, bit of pushing. Nothing too bad though, and Stephen Heath is up to 2nd position, so Heathy could push on to get the lead from Kieran now.
Absolutely, it would be good to see Heathy get that 1st position. He had a few tough races in the last two races. It's been a bit tough for him, but it's good to see him in the 2nd. And it looks like Joe has already gone off into the gravel. I think it might have been a bit of a push, but he's got 3 cars wide going to the turn there.
So on board with Rob, who's at the back here, just behind Daniel Stewart, and
he gets the move done.
Yeah, and the 2 Nissans there together.
Looks like one of the bubblegum VWs of pushing. I think it was Mark's bubblegum VW pushing to the dirt a little bit on the hairpin.
A little bit of lag as well. So let's go on board with the 2 Nissan GTRs, and a really big struggle for them. We've had obviously a retirement from Joe in race 2, so yeah, they're just both off. They're both off. Look, that's Joe and Dan Stewart, so the 2 get together, both go off into the gravel, so that's not helping them. It's side by side with Gary, who's now on the medium tyres.
Looks like, I think that was Rob and one of the bubblegums gone wide again. And Noxie makes a move on Ranksman, but I say that he's gone into a tyre wall.
Big off from Noxie. So Luke is back on, and but he made contact with the tyre wall there. So frustrating yet again for Luke Knox. But further up we continue on with the mid-pack. We've got Mike Kuipers with Joe Burrows and Alex McCready here.
So Alex has got into the top 10 now again. And it looks like she's pushed Mike into the dirt a little bit, and it's allowed Joe to just overtake him on the S's. And we've got another big pack for the lead.
So here it is.
Lap 2, and it's already starting to split up a little bit. You've got the back 3. And now you've got this massive limousine, or should I say train of cars, ready to take that first position spot off Kieran.
Oh, there was contact there from Craig. It was unusual, but Darren managed to keep himself going, and very little damage done to his racing line there. So the MCR Storm, I think that someone's gone off. I can hear tyres.
Someone's gone drifting in the Suzuka.
Just drifting. I was going to say, I thought someone went off then. So let's go on board with Darren, who's just behind this leading pack here, and that is Tom. Yeah, Tom's gone really wide, so he's going to be pushed out of position.
Tom's had a mare of the first 2 laps. You know, he started second in the race, but he's dropped down from second to 6th, which is not ideal. But Kieran is in first position, so that's already a good point. So I mean, as I said in Monza, you want to be in the top 6 really, to make your way in the team championship. It looks like the 2 team redeemers side by side going to the last chicane. It looks like Darren. Oh no, sorry, that's Harry Cook. Sorry, overtaking Darren there for 4th position. So might be able to put a bit of pressure on Mike for 3rd place. Could be team orders just to say here, keep pushing each other, get into the top 3.
So Stephen Heath is still in 2nd here, and he is not letting Kieran get away. So Kieran isn't running away like Gary did in race 2, but is still holding on tight and doing well in the lead.
Hopefully we can see Heath, you know, challenge for that top position. Get his first win in the series, is it? Or has he won before?
So Stephen has, Heathy has won obviously in the league before. He won in the Subaru.
It was season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
On his debut.
I don't think he won in the Hyundai though. I don't think he's won in that. Oh, he's been pushed wide.
Say that. Another commentator's curse.
Can we continue with the commentator's curse? He's been pushed down to 5th. So he's been pushed down to 5th. Look at that car train now. We've got everyone now fighting for pretty much first. And Tom goes up on the inside of Heafy. And as I said before, once you get out of position, people can start pushing you out of position and bullying you down even further down the pack. So Stephen Heath is under threat from Tom now. Tom's on the inside, and Craig Kellett is behind them, so could easily push them out of position. And his teammate Joe Burrows is just behind Craig, so could be a switch over for the 2 Hyundai Genesis of HB Motorsports, and the 2 are together now with Mike Kuipers latching onto the back of this as well.
So it might be another situation of the HBs pushing together, pushing each other, just giving at each other a little boost just to get past this Craig and likes of Tom, maybe even catching up to Team Redeem. So you've got Mike Coleman is looking very strong here now in race 3. He's doing well for his teammate. Obviously, he's started at the back of the grid, doesn't he? So he's in 12th. Much so.
So I think Luke Knox has retired. So that's another team snap-on retirement, which is really disappointing for them. I think they're going to come away really, really frustrated with Suzuka after having a fairly strong Monza for at least Luke, who was kind of mid-pack in the points. So Joe McCall seems to have struggled with the Nissan ever since they started. So I think they want to go away and strategise and see if they can come back with a stronger look at Interlagos.
I mean, obviously, you know, you've got to finish these races, otherwise it just hurts you so much, you know. I mean, if you got to battle for at least that point, the point can mean so much with it being so close, especially in its early days. So hopefully Interlagos we can see them, you know, fighting for the mid-pack and hopefully for the top positions. So it looks like Mike is putting all the pressure on Kieran as he's gone sideways into the chicane. I think he's gone into the dirt as well, but he's kept his second position with Harry, and Mike might be able to run away with it.
It's another MCR Storm Scirocco in the lead then, so Mike, you can see the power of those Sciroccos, super strong round here at Suzuka. And Kieran did make a mistake, but the two Team Redeem Mazdas now are looking really strong here, working really well together, and they could push on to get a double podium. Harry is already in the podium position, and Darren's very close behind. So if they can work together to get past Kieran, they'll be second and third, and then they could push on for maybe get a 1-2. So Team Redeem looking very strong here. They've actually been strong all event, and this will top it off for them.
They've been very consistent throughout the whole event. So even a 3-4 for the team would be massive. And looks like Tom is going on the. Oh no, I thought he was going on the outside then, just to.
Well, it looked like Craig had made a small mistake and gone onto the green stuff again on that chicane. So, but Tom is under threat from Heafy now, with Joe Barrows very close behind, and they're going to potentially go 3 wide into the corner. No, Stephen thinks very close.
Going to send it for that little gap, but he's made a position on Craig. Craig's right down 2 positions, and Tom has gone up to 5th, Heafy in 6th, which is a much better result than what we've seen so far this event. So hopefully he can keep this position, or if he wanted to, push a little bit more, get that fifth place. There's a bit of a gap now between the top 4 and the rest. So he's got Mike just trying to get past, or try and find the traction just to try and get past Joe. He's under threat.
So just a bit further down, Alex McCready again continuing to improve, is now 11th. Can he get another top 10 finish just with Mark going off there? He could potentially get some extra points. And it's well worth noting here that Gary is down in 12th, but that's because his tyres are doing the job. And then we did not really mention in the second race, everyone else had their tyre choice. It's slightly different in this season compared to last season. Only one race needs to be chosen for the tyres for the front running 6 cars. So everyone else decided to. So looking at that, Darren did really well on his tyres. Craig did okay, and then of course Gary was the only one here to choose to do his to race his medium tyres on the 3rd race on his own, and he's kind of struggling here.
Yeah, I think when you're starting on the back of the grid, obviously it's not the wisest idea to start on a ballast tyre because of the difference in performance. Really, if you want to start them in the second race once you've done well, really. As Gary started on yellow flags are being waved. I think we've had another disconnection as well.
So yes, I think that might just be Mark. Was it? Yeah, so Mike might have just gone off the circuit, but well worth noting, well spotted that Joe McCall has also retired. So that's both team snap-ons. So an absolute nightmare. Yeah, 0 points for both drivers, both for the team, and that also means that Joe McCall retired from both race 2 and race 3. So yeah, really shocking for team snap-on.
I think there's got a few words in the camp. I think they've got to come out at Interlagos with feeling dangerous. You know, they've got to feel dangerous at Interlagos. I mean, the GTR is very good at Interlagos as well as Monza, so hopefully we can see Luke as well. He had a strong performance at Monza, so we can see that again from him at another GTR strong track. The
thing is, they are race-winning Nissan GTRs. They were in the hands of obviously Elliott Racing in seasons 2 and 3, so they've They've got the credentials, but it's just not happened so far for Team Snap-on in those Nissans. So looking here, we've got both HB Motorsports. They've a mixed bag of results and are probably disappointed so far. Not doing too bad. I mean, this will bolster their points a little bit further, but they're just still trying to find their feet in those hind eyes. Oh, there's Craig going really wide, and that's another mistake from Craig. There's been multiple mistakes from Craig in the Mustang, and he's really struggling here at Suzuka with a 12th position finish in race 2. This is unheard of almost. So he's really needing to get himself together.
Craig's got someone else on his account, I think. It's just, it's, you know, it's different. It's weird to see Craig this far down. You know, I mean, we're so used to him sitting at the top, rarely beaten. There's only been a few people to ever beat him, really, and it's not like Craig at all. So up the Interlagos, we'll see the Mustang on top of the grid, but it's good to see. And it looks like Kieran's made the move on Mike. He's kept it going to the S's, which is really good. And Daz Parker is on his way to battle Mark and Kieran. Battle of the tri-trains.
So
got a four-wheel and two front-wheel drives, and obviously we've seen the front-wheel drives are really strong here.
And this is an interesting battle for pretty much the podium here for the top 3. And we did say that Harry was looking really strong behind. Darren was behind Harry. So something has happened, because Harry's really dropped off behind Tom here in 4th. So Harry's down at his 5th. So it's not the worst case scenario, but it's not where he wants to be. And if anything, once you drop off from the lead pack, they'll have the slipstream, and if you continue to fight, it can be difficult for you to catch up.
Definitely. And Tom's got to be a Harry saviour here, try and catch up. It looks like Vamp might have gone off there.
Yeah, I think Joe went off, so that's allowed Mark to catch up here.
Oh, bit of contact there, but he's going to make the move. He's made the move.
He's got it done, but they get the crisscross.
Like Joe's come back and replied, and
that's
made
a fantastic, yeah, it's a fantastic overtake. He's just got the position back, so really well done there by Joe Burrows. Alex McCready looking quite strong behind, with Mike Kuiper's also strong. Mike got a 2nd position in race 2, but he's much further down in 10th, so inconsistent from Mike.
For the corner there.
Board with Alex.
That's allowed Mike. Yeah, that's allowed Mike to get through there, and Alex is
flashing his lights.
Move out the way, I'm coming through. Might be able to make a little position here. You know.
The laps are counting down, so yeah, it's looking pretty good for Alex McCready here. And as I say, there's only a few laps left, down to the last 2 laps. Alex is going to make a move.
Don't think he he doesn't get it.
No, a little bit of corner cutting again there from Alex, but nothing too drastic. So Alex holds off, and he's now under pressure from Mike, so he's got to look in front, but he's also got to watch behind him. We go further back up, and we've got Craig Kellett on the outside of Stephen Heath here. Stephen's still managing to stay up in the top pack after struggling to stay in 2nd.
He's looking for it. He's wanting to get past that Genesis there, but I don't think Heath going to allow him to get past.
It's very close racing, very close, very clean, and the 2 might want to work together to see if they can catch up, because obviously they're going to, all the time they're fighting, they're just going to slow themselves down, whether they want to really catch up with Tom and Harry 4th and 5th. And I think actually saying that Tom, Harry's got past Tom. Tom's doing some rallycross himself.
Bit of a mix-up of things. So yeah, this top 3 battle here is hotting up. You got 1.5 laps left, really, haven't you?
Yeah,
and
so they're coming.
Might be able to make a move.
They're coming around the long sweeping 2 left-hander of Spoon. So for the 2nd to last time, and
lock up there for Mike.
That is Kieran literally fingertips holding himself in the lead, and obviously he's had the lead for the majority of this race. He had lost it earlier in the race to Mike, but he's managed to get it back, so it's going to be interesting to see how this top lead pack here is going to end up, as I think it could be any one of the 3 to take the win.
It's like season 2 of. Well, no, yeah, it was season 2 of Seaside. We have another 3-pack battle.
Yeah.
But it looks like Harry is just holding off Tom there. You know, they've got a 3-4 at the moment. Darren might be able to push for second, maybe even first. And they're just a nice little train going into the first corner. Into turn 2. And they're still in the same positions, but it looks like Darren's has just dropped off a little bit now. Might be able to put pressure on Kieran. No, he's not under threat from Darren.
Really interesting how this race has developed with small battle packs that have spread themselves out.
I think it's the most spread out race we've seen so far.
Yeah, the rest of them are all car trains. Everyone was fighting in a line, and this one, it's got literally everyone close together, but in small, very, very small bunches. Very, very interesting. So Darren's just been holding off, and it's been like this for the last few laps. So, Mike has got an opportunity. He's on the outside, but no, not quite. Kieran holds him off.
Kieran defends his position.
He's got an extremely wide Renault, so he's defending well, isn't he? Oh, Darren gets the grass, and he nearly makes contact with Mike, but look how close it is. It's going to go right down to the line unless something bad happens, and hopefully there'll be no tears. But you just don't know who's going to make that final dive.
Anything can happen, couldn't it? So this spoon hairpin has been catching a lot of people out, so never know. Looks like they get through it all cleanly. No one goes too wide. Oh, it looks like Kieran has as well. Mike's going to go for it.
So Mike is on the side by side with Kieran. Is on the inside for the straight and the left-hander then. So it's going to be literally
to the wire.
Bomb.
And it
literally.
Looks like Darren fancies a come as well.
This is super close. I don't think I can name who's going to win it, but Kieran just managed to stay ahead. Mike slots in behind. I think he's going to take the last dive effort into the chicane, but he holds off. Yeah, he's not made the dive. So Kieran is potentially going to take the win unless there's going to be slipstream. And it's Kieran Thomas who takes his first win of the season, just ahead of Mike. And Darren is third position, so a really good win for Kieran. Harry holds off Tom in fourth. Tom was fifth. Craig gets sixth, just ahead of Stephen Heath in seventh. Mark gets eighth, ahead of Mike, although something's going on there, not sure what's happened. Alex McCready gets another top 10 finish. Gary gets 11th on the medium tyres. Joe Burrows in 12th, and then 13th and 14th to Rob and Dan Stewart at the back. Kieran Thomas gets his first win of the season, then just ahead of Mike Comer. Darren Parker gets another podium finish. Harry was in fourth with Tom in fifth, Craig sixth, Stephen was seventh, Mark was eighth, Mike Kuipers finishes in ninth ahead of Alex. Gary was 11th with Joe Burrows 12th, Daniel Stewart in 13th, and Rob Pellett was 14th, just ahead of obviously Joe McCall and Luke, who both retired at the end of that race. What this means for the points then going into round 3 into Lagos, Gary is continuing to lead with 93 points, but only 4 points ahead of Dan, as Dan scored more points in the last race there. In third is now Kieran with 75 points, just 5 points ahead of Tom in fourth with 70. Craig is now ahead of Mark, but only by 1 point, 66 to 65 there, as Harry jumps up to 7th now with 56 points. Luke drops down to 8th as Mike Comer continues to climb with up to 9th with 46, as does Mike Kuipers, and the rest follow on from there. In the teams, it's just 1 point in it, with Redeem on 144, K-Tech on 143, so that's very, very close there. In third is MCR Storm with 136, but obviously they've just lost a few points in that last race. In fourth is K&N, who also continue to score points, 96. Elliot on 90, so not too far behind them, with HB on 82, and Team Snap-on dropping down a fair bit after not scoring for both cars in that last race. Speedy continues to score points, with the newcomer Daniel Stewart scoring as well. In the Rookie Cup, Gary Black on 110 in first, and the closest now is Harry, 89 points, so quite a way to go to catch up with Gary. In third is Luke with 76. Alex McCready jumps up to fourth with 73, just 1 point ahead of Rob. And Mike Comer is continuing to score points in 54 in sixth, with Daniel Stewart on 20 at the back. Thank you very much for joining us here at Suzuka for Group A. We will see you in 2 weeks' time for round 3 at Interlagos, which will be our first race for the guys there. So we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.